What's up, guys? We are back with a full slate of MLB action here on Thursday, June 19th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate in the NBA Finals game between the Pacers and Thunder. I'll give you my dog of the day and pick out my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think is the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, kind of a disaster situation with all the rainouts and all the stuff like that. Just a wild day overall. Some bad luck, some good luck, all kinds of weird stuff mixed in there, to be honest. And I guess it's yet to be seen if there really was any good luck. So they got off to a weird start. The Reds game very much delayed. They're currently up 4-2 in a rain delay right now in the bottom of the 6th inning. So maybe that one will come through. We had the under there in that Baltimore-Tampa Bay game. A total incomplete implosion from both starters. Taj Bradley must be hurt or something because that kid is looking terrible so far this year. We had the under in that Kansas City-Texas Rangers game. There was some bad luck in that one for sure. 2 runs scored in the 8th inning sunk us. The Kansas City bullpen sucking was not what I had happening in this game. We've got the under there in that Houston Sacramento Athletics game, and so far that's drawing pretty live. The Astros are up 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning, so hopefully we don't see any more scoring there. In terms of the other games, the lock of the day and the dog of the day both got rain delayed, rain postponed, whatever you want to say. They are not happening tonight, so both of those get scratched. We will see what happens in those games tomorrow. We'll be looking at them again today. Also, before we jump into a very big slate here on this Thursday, I want to mention we're not going to be looking at the game 2s of these doubleheaders right off the bat. We're going to be looking at the game 1. So unless noted, we're talking about game 1 exclusively. So let's go ahead and dive in, see if we can find a much more normal day out there on Thursday than we've had so far on Wednesday. And right out of the gates, guys, we're looking at the Minnesota Twins going on the road to take on the Cincinnati Reds. Like I was saying, guys, the Twins and Reds currently find themselves still playing in a rain delay in the bottom of the 6th inning. So we'll see how things finish up in that one. Here in game 3 of this series, the Twins are not having a great time so far. If they don't win this current game, they're going to be on, a 6-game losing streak coming into this one. They'll hand the ball to Chris Paddock. He's 2-6 on the year, a 4.30 ERA. His last start, he got absolutely obliterated by the Astros. Probably his worst start of the year, giving up 12 hits, 9 runs, 8 of which were earned over 4 innings in a 10-3 loss. The Twins are also 0-5 over his last 5 starts. That's not exactly great. He's going up against a Reds team he hasn't faced, so maybe there's a chance for him to turn things around. The Twins' bullpen, while it looked great at some points earlier in the season, isn't looking so great now. A 3.75 bullpen ERA, though, isn't the end of the world. Offensively, only 2 runs in their current game. They've scored 2, 5, 1, 2, 3, and 3 over their last several. Not really lighting it up. Offensively, they're down to 20th in runs scored. They're 20th in batting average, batting .242 as a team. Just not a very scary offense. So we'll see what they can get done here against the Reds, who, if they win their current game, will be on a 4-game winning streak. They're up to 38-35 on the year. They'll be handing the ball in this game to Nick Martinez, who hasn't been amazing. He's 4-7, but a 3.92 ERA. I guess not the end of the world. His last time out, he had a rough time against the Tigers, but his start before that, he dominated the Arizona Diamondbacks. So we'll see which version of it get him here against the Minnesota Twins, who aren't swinging the hottest bats. So maybe this is a chance for Nick Martinez to have a good outing. The Reds bullpen has shown dominant stuff at different points this season, but is right now sporting a 4.05 bullpen ERA, so looking pretty bad. But this is not a bullpen that's really horrible. Now, the offense for the Reds has been something of a revelation. They're all the way up to 8th in the majors in runs scored, 10th in slugging percentage, 11th in on-base percentage. Elly De La Cruz is showing exactly the growth that Reds fans would have hoped for. He's killing it, and the offense overall is looking kind of dangerous. So looking at the numbers here, the Twins are -105, the Reds are -115. We've got a total out there of 9. The Twins are 16-24 on the road, 21-16-3 to the under on the road. The Reds are 19-16 at home, 19-14-2 to the under at home. Overall, guys, I think this is a pretty decent spot to look at the Reds to win this game at -115, kind of regardless of the way their current game that's in that rain delay here for Wednesday goes. But I think it's also a decent spot to look at over 9. Do I trust either one of these enough to go in the pinned comment? Seems like a little bit of a stretch. Next on the docket, we've got the Los Angeles Angels going on the road to take on the New York Yankees. The Angels notched yet another win here in Yankee Stadium, getting the 3-2 win. That Chilson home run ends the Yankees' 30-inning scoreless streak, but they still lose thanks in large part to a Volpe error. So yeah, things are looking real bleak for the Yankees still. The Angels will hand the ball here to Tyler Anderson. Speaking of things looking bleak for somebody, he's 2-4, a 4.44 ERA after struggling in yet another start. I would say that's his 3rd straight subpar start start, especially by his standards. Not having a very good year. The last time he faced the Yankees, he was good, though, back on the 27th of May. 6 innings, 5 hits, only a single earned run allowed. That was in a 3-2 loss, but that was the Yankees when they were good. This is the Yankees when they are apparently god-awful. So we'll see what happens in this one. Obviously, the bullpen for the Angels has been terrible this year. The offense, not lighting the world on fire, but doing enough to beat the Yankees, scoring 3, 4, and 1 runs over the course of the series to go 3-0 is pretty nuts. We'll see what they do against the Yankees, who are now on a 6-game losing streak. Holy cow. They're hitting the ball in this one to Carlos Rodon, who's 8-5 on the year, a 3.01 ERA. His last couple starts, though, have looked shaky. They were both against the Red Sox. Neither one of them looked great, and they were both Yankee losses. Now, going up against the Angels, he faced them back on the 27th. 7 innings, 5 hits, no runs allowed. Struck out 10 and walked 0, and was eventually a 3-2 win there for the Yankees. Now, can you count on getting any run support here? I would say no, because the Yankees offense has apparently just completely departed. They've had their talents stolen or something. I don't know what has happened. The bullpen for the Yankees, a 3.53 bullpen ERA, definitely has them looking like a solid bullpen. But the offense, 2, 0, 0, 0, 3, and 1 runs over their last few games. What is going on? I have no idea. They're 3rd in runs scored still, 7th in batting average still, but this team could not possibly be swinging any colder of bats. So looking at the numbers here, the Angels are plus 200. The Yankees are minus 250. We've got totals out there of 9.5 or 9. The Angels are 20-21 on the road, 23-18 to the over on the road. The Yankees are 21-14 at home, 21-14 to the under at home. Well, guys, one way I can think to get those Yankees bats going again is for me to take the under. So we're going to be leaning pretty hard towards under 9.5 in this game. Not because I think it's a jinx, but because I think Rodon's going to go out there and throw the ball well. I think Tyler Anderson could have a bounce back here against a team he's had success against and against a team that can't hit the water with a boat paddle, it doesn't seem like. So, yeah, give me under 9.5 in this spot. In terms of a side, we're not taking the Yankees anytime soon. So give me the Angels as a default, but the under is the only play where I'm seeing significant value. Next up, guys, we've got the Colorado Rockies going on the road to take on the Washington Nationals. The Rockies have now won 4 straight games, a sweep of the first 3 games against the Nationals and win the final game there at Atlanta. So, yeah, playing some of their best ball of the season. They'll hand the ball in this game to Chase Dollander. This young 23-year-old's 2-7 on the year, a 6.57 ERA. Doesn't fill you with tons of excitement, but I mean, I don't know. He's a young guy. He's got some talent. His last couple of starts have not looked good, and he hasn't been going deep into games at all. He did go 6 innings against Atlanta, but gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of which were earned. So we'll see what he does here against the Nationals. Obviously not the scariest opponent, but yeah, he faced them earlier in the year and got absolutely obliterated back in mid-April. So we'll see what he does in this game. Obviously, the Rockies' bullpen is nothing to write home about. 5th worst in the majors, a 4.67 bullpen ERA. The offense is coming alive. 3, 10, 6, and 10 runs over their last few games. Kind of crazy for a Rockies team that's still 28th in batting average and 27th in runs scored, but they're swinging some hot bats. Got to let them enjoy life when they get the chance here. So we'll see what they do against the Nationals, who are now on an 11-game losing streak. They'll hand the ball to Trevor Williams, who's 3-8 on the year, a 5.71 ERA. His last start was actually pretty good against the Marlins, though. I mean, 5 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs. Not lighting the world on fire for sure. And we see, the Nationals are 0-3 over his last 3 starts. That can't feel great. Has he faced the Rockies yet? No, he has not faced the Rockies yet this season. So we'll see what he does. Yeah, for sure can't count on the bullpen, though. A 5.90 bullpen ERA to back him up. One of the worst in the majors. And the offense, guys, I mean, it's been atrocious too. 1, 6, 4, 1, and 3 runs over their last few games. Kind of a disaster, but kind of predictable disaster. They were overachieving there for a bit, but I would say probably, 22nd, 20th, somewhere in that range. That's where this offense belongs in the majors. So looking at the numbers for this one, the Rockies are plus 130. The Nationals are minus 155. We've got a total of 9.5. The Rockies are 9-30 on the road, 24-14-1 to the under on the road. Washington 15-23 at home, 19-18-1 to the under at home. I'm going to be leaning just a little bit here towards the Nationals at home just because of that terrible history Chase Dollander has in this matchup. But, guys, don't make me pick between these two teams. I've got no idea what's going to happen in this game. They're both terrible. The Rockies are streaking. The Nationals are sliding. I don't know. This is a stay-away spot for me. Hopping in here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description and go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC picks. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport of the last 3 years in a row and is off to a fantastic first half to the year. Our premium capper over at Stump the Spread for MLB, who is not me, he's a much more experienced MLB capper than I am for sure. He is coming off a very nice night there on Wednesday. He went 2-0. somehow miraculously avoiding all the rainouts. He had the Toronto Blue Jays as a 2-unit play. That was a blowout 8-1 win there for Toronto, so easy money on that one. He also had the Red Sox as a 5-unit play, and Crochet comes through. The Red Sox win that game 3-1. So a nice, solid winning day over there for our premium members. Definitely get over there to stumpthespread.com, check out the premium picks, but also check out everything we offer over there. We've got lots of free stuff, free picks that are only posted there, our free to use bet size calculator. You also want to get on the email list, the free email list. All you need to sign up for a free account is your name and your email address. You'll be on that free list, and you'll get all kinds of great information straight to your inbox every single day. Parlays, at least one free pick every day, and then information on niche betting like NASCAR, golf, tennis, that kind of stuff. So definitely worth getting in there and checking that out. It's free information straight to your inbox every single day, and it's absolutely free. Also, if you're a huge fan of what we're doing here every single day, sign up for a channel membership by just clicking that little join button right below the video. Channel members get early access to all of our videos. You get your name up on screen in every video, but you also get access to our members only giveaways. We'll be doing another hoodie giveaway here in 2 days. On the 21st, we'll be rolling for a random channel member to win a Stump the Spread hoodie shipped straight to your mailbox. Well, guys, we've got a ton more games to cover, so let's go ahead and jump back in. A lot of games here on Thursday, and even more they're going to be able to cover because of the rainouts and stuff. So next up, we're looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates going on the road to take on the Detroit Tigers in Game 1 of their doubleheader. The Pirates come into this game fresh off a 7-3 loss in Game 1 of this series. They're not having a great time, 29-45 on the year. It's being reported that they're going to, hold tight and start Andrew Heaney in this game as, projected. He's 3-5 on the season, a 3.33 ERA, and he's actually been having a pretty okay time. He got knocked around a little bit by the Cubs his last time out, giving up 3 earned runs over 6 innings on 4 hits, but 2 home runs, so that's, where the knocked around a bit comes from. He's also been giving up quite a few home runs. He's actually given up 6 home runs over his last, 4 games? So, yeah, not ideal, but he has been facing a really tough slate of teams. So we'll see what happens with him. I'm expecting him to be decent. I'm expecting the Pirates bullpen, although it's trending in a positive direction recently, a 4.09 bullpen ERA doesn't fill me with tons of optimism. And really, if I'm being honest, neither does their offense. They're last in runs scored. They're second to last in batting average. They're 26th in on base percentage, getting on base at a 301 clip. They scored 3, 2, and 1 runs over their last few games. So it's been a little bit brutal for the Pirates and their fans of this season. We'll see what they do here against the Tigers, who are 47-27 on the year. This, it turns out, is going to be Scooball Day, guys, and he's been having a lot of great days. He's 7-2 on the year, a 1.99 ERA. His last start was against Baltimore, 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed in a 4-1 win there for the Tigers. So, yeah, I don't need to sit here and tell you about how good Scooball is. He's been amazing all year long. The Tigers bullpen, while it was amazing at some points, has slacked off a little bit recently, a 3.72 bullpen ERA right now, but I think the bullpen's going to be okay. The offense has been a bit all over the place, but overall this season, they've been much better than last season. They're 5th in runs scored, which is crazy, probably higher than they're going to finish on the year. 11th in batting average, 12th in on base percentage, but a top 7 slugging percentage team. I'm impressed with what I've seen from the from the Tigers at the plate. So looking at the numbers here, it's a little bit unfortunate. We've seen the odds makers have moved it on us a bit. The Pirates are plus 260. The Tigers are minus 335. We've got a total of 7 in this game. The Pirates are 10-26 on the road, 23-11-2 to the under on the road. Detroit is 25-11 at home, 20-13-3 to the under at home. I mean, maybe we could take the under 7 in this game. That seems like a little bit crazy, maybe, but with these two guys on the mound, I definitely don't hate under 7. I'm going to be on the Tigers here, but minus 335 is too expensive, so we might have to look at them at minus 1.5 or something like that, but I'm very unlikely to make a run line play or lock of the day. Next up, guys, we've got Game 1 of the doubleheader between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago White Sox. The Cardinals got a 12-2 blowout win in Game 1 of this series. We'll see what they can do in Game 1 of this doubleheader, where they'll hand the ball reportedly here to Eric Feedy, who's 3-6 on the year, a 3.65 ERA. His last start was at the Brewers, 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs. Not a bad outing necessarily, but the Cardinals did eventually lose that one 3-2. I don't believe, there's no way he's faced the White Sox yet this year, so we'll see what Feedy does. I mean, he's looked decent over his last, I would say, at least 3 starts, so we got to give the guy some credit. The Cardinals bullpen, I'd love to give him lots of credit, and I will give him credit for improving, but a 3.82 bullpen ERA, not necessarily an elite bullpen. The offense for the Cardinals coming off a 12-run game, that has to feel great. They had been slumping a little bit. They've been one of the better offenses in the majors over the course of the year, so maybe they're going to bounce back here. Not putting up crazy power numbers, but 9th in runs scored, 3rd in batting average, 6th in on-base percentage. Cardinals kind of doing it old school here. So we'll see what they do against the White Sox, who are 23-50 on the year. They're on a 5-game losing streak, or maybe it's up to 6 now. Yeah, 6-game losing streak. They'll hand the ball to Sean Burke, who's 3-7 on the year, a 4.71 ERA. His last time out, he got shelled by the Astros. Start before that, gave up 7 hits, but only 2 earned runs over 7 innings against Detroit. That was actually a 3-2 extra inning win. He's shown good stuff at times this season, but not great stuff, I wouldn't say. And we'll see what he gets done here against the Cardinals, but I don't have super high expectations for him. The White Sox bullpen, I have very low expectations for, a 4.40 bullpen ERA. Obviously, not something you want to get super jazzed up about. And the offense is kind of what you would expect of a White Sox offense. They're last in batting average. They're second to last in slugging. They're third to last in runs scored. Just not a very good team at all. So looking at the numbers here, I'm a little bit surprised. The Cardinals are minus 140. The White Sox are plus 118. We've got a total of 8.5. The Cardinals are only 16-21 on the road, 19-17-1 to the over on the road. The White Sox 16-19 at home, 20-13-2 to the over at home. So right off the bat, over 8.5 seems live to me for sure, but better than the over. I like the Cardinals here at minus 140. Feedy's been throwing the ball a little bit better recently. That's a good sign. The Cardinals bullpen, not atrocious. Their offense is obviously much better than the White Sox, so I think that all amounts to the Cardinals probably should have been more like a minus 160, minus 175 favorite in this game, and that leaves plenty of room for value. Next on the docket, we've got the matchup we were looking at yesterday as a potential dog of the day, and the odds makers have changed the lines on us once again. The Brewers are going on the road here to take on the Chicago Cubs. This game was postponed yesterday. Milwaukee comes into this one, not playing amazing. I mean, they lost 5-3 in game 1 of this series. They'll hand the ball in this one to young Jacob Misiorowski, who's 1-0. A 0.00 ERA after dominating the Cardinals for 5 innings back on the 12th. This kid was out there throwing absolute flame balls, but he did kind of do something weird to his ankle. Apparently, he's fine. I mean, he's a 23-year-old that barely tweaked his ankle, taking a weird step on the mound. So I'm not worried about his health, really. Back when I was 23, my God, I had elastic ankles. So we'll see what he does out there in this one. I'm expecting very good stuff from him. The Brewers bullpen is a little bit concerning, though. A 4.27 bullpen ERA for Milwaukee. That's not great. The offense hasn't necessarily been on fire lately, but it hasn't been a disaster. But, I mean, over the course of the year, there's a reason they're 23rd in batting average and 26th in slugging percentage. Not a lot of super scary bats out there for Milwaukee. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Cubs, who've won 3 in a row coming into this one. Eminaga making a rehab start there in Iowa, definitely a step in the right direction. They'll be handing the ball in this one to Jameson Taillon. He's 7-3 this year, a 3.48 ERA. His last start was against the Pirates, and he was pretty good out there, over 6 1/3 innings. The Cubs are also 5-0 over his last 5 starts. It's been pretty good stuff. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs over any of those outings. We'll see what he looks like here against the Brewers. He had a very good start against them back in early May, so that's a big step in the right direction there for the Cubs. In terms of the Chicago bullpen, it's been very good as well. Currently 4th best in the majors, a 3.15 bullpen ERA. Nothing to turn your nose up at there. And the offense, guys, we all know what the Cubs offense has been doing this year. They're still 2nd in runs scored, 5th in team batting average, batting .254 as a squad. They're 4th in slugging a 436. Like, that's pretty sick. That's pretty sick stuff. So we'll see what they can do in this one. I'm expecting good stuff. Looking at the numbers, the odds makers have changed this a ton. The Brewers are minus 105. The Cubs are minus 115. We've got a total of 8.5. Milwaukee is 16-20 on the road, 20-14-2 to the under on the road. The Cubs are 24-10 at home, 16-15-3 to the under at home. There's a chance we actually flip-flop on this one, guys. I kind of liked I liked the Brewers and Misiorowski a lot at plus 130, but at minus 105, I am no longer interested. Give me the Cubs here at minus 115. I'm not saying this is going in the pinned comment, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't have a chance. I like Misiorowski out there, but how deep is he really going to go in this game? And I don't like that Milwaukee bullpen at all. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Arizona Diamondbacks going on the road to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. The Diamondbacks have lost 3 straight now after losing game 2 of this series 8-1. Yeah, Carroll getting hit on the hand with that pitch is not a great look. Apparently it's not broken, but it's going to be sore. The Diamondbacks will hand the ball in this game to Ryan Nelson. He comes into this game, I mean, he's making his 3rd straight start. He started in 4 out of his last 5 appearances, so it seems like they're pretty much transitioning him back to the rotation. His last time was actually pretty good. It was against the Padres, 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 unearned run allowed, and was eventually a 5-1 win. So that's a positive. He hasn't been lights out. I mean, he got shredded by the Reds back on the 7th. So I'm not exactly holding my breath for him to have an amazing outing here against Toronto in Toronto, but we'll see what he can do. I mean, yeah, we'll see what he can do. See what he can do. I'm not that excited. I mean, honestly, the bullpen too for Arizona has been so bad. A 5.39 bullpen ERA is obviously atrocious. The offense, 1, 4, and 2 runs over their last few games. If they're not scoring a ton of runs, this team is not going to win games. They're 4th in runs scored, 9th in batting average, 3rd in slugging percentage, but like I said, swinging some kind of cold bat. So we'll see what they do here in Toronto. The Blue Jays are 40 and 33 on the year, winners of their last 2 in a row, bouncing back from a bad series there in Philadelphia. They'll hand the ball in this game to Kevin Gausman, who's 5 and 5 on the year, a 4.08 ERA. His last start was against the Phillies, 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs. Not ideal, especially in an 8-0 loss, but that was significantly worse than he's thrown the ball in any of his last several outings. Now, he's going to be against the Diamondbacks here, not an easy team to pitch against, although lately maybe a little bit easier. So we'll see what he does. I'm not holding my breath for him to be amazing, but that Toronto bullpen's been pretty respectable, a 3.60 bullpen ERA. Nothing to get too mad about there. The offense for Toronto really has turned things on here over the last 20, 30, something like that games. They've scored 14 runs over the first two games of this series. They're currently 16th in runs scored, but top 6 in batting average, 12th in slugging, 10th in on-base percentage. All of a sudden, this team can really, really hit the ball. So I'm expecting them to put up some runs here. And look at the numbers. The Diamondbacks are plus 120. The Blue Jays are minus 140. We've got a total of 8.5. Arizona is 16 and 18 on the road, 17, 15, and 2 to the over on the road. Toronto 23 and 13 at home, a very good home mark. 23 and 13 to the over at home as well. So I honestly don't mind over 8.5 in this game. I think that's a very playable spot, and I think it has some value considering I don't like either starter here really. In terms of the side, I will take the Blue Jays at home at minus 140, but that's a bit steep for me with Gausman on the mound. So I think the better value in this one is to just take that over 8.5. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Cleveland Guardians going on the road to take on the San Francisco Giants. The Guardians and Giants are actually playing right now in the bottom of the 8th inning with Cleveland up 4-2, so we'll see how that game goes. The Guardians will hand the ball in this one to Gavin Williams, who's 5 and 3 on the season, a 3.89 ERA. His last start was against the Mariners, and it was a short one. 4 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs allowed, and a 7-2 loss. So not his best stuff, pretty clearly. We'll see what he can do here against the Giants, a team that can be a weird one to face, I'll say that, but definitely not the most dominant offense at the moment, I don't think. The Guardians bullpen, not as good as last season, but a 3.67 bullpen ERA, definitely playable there. The offense is where the problems come up. Jose Ramirez is trying to carry this team on his own. That's not really a thing for him. He's not quite that dominant of a hitter. I mean, they're 25th in the majors in runs scored. They're batting .231 as a team. That's 25th in the MLB. They're getting on base at 303 clip. That's 24th. Looks like they're very solidly a bottom third of the majors kind of offense. So we'll see if they can find some runs here against the Giants, who are 41 and 32 on the year, trying to avoid currently their 4th straight loss. They'll hand the ball to Logan Webb. He's 6 and 5 on the season, a 2.58 ERA. He's been very good this year, coming off a 7-inning, 2-hit, 2-run outing there at the Dodgers, where the Giants won that game 6-2. He's looked lights out in at least his last 3 starts, and he's just been, he's been really good this year. There's no way around that. So expecting good stuff from Logan Webb, expecting excellent stuff from the Giants bullpen. It's been the best bullpen in the majors all year long. First in bullpen ERA, sporting a 2.64 ERA coming out of the pen. The offense has had some, very hot streaks. They got off to a really hot start to the year, but I know, this trade added a huge bat, but 15th in runs scored, 24th in batting average, 24th in slugging percentage. I don't know if I'm in love with this Giants offense at the moment. So looking at the numbers, the Guardians are plus 144, the Giants are minus 170. We've got a total of 7 out there. Cleveland, 17 and 20 on the road, 17, 16 and 4 to the under on the road. San Francisco, 22 and 12 at home, 21 and 13 to the under at home. I'm going to lean just a little bit here towards the Giants at minus 170. I think it's a pretty reasonable spot. I don't think it's necessarily a lock of the day kind of spot, and minus 170 is a bit expensive, so we're going to keep this one on the back burner. Cruising through these games, we're looking at the Philadelphia Phillies going on the road to take on the Miami Marlins. The Phillies 44 and 30 on the season, fresh off a 4-2 win there in Game 3 against the Marlins. We'll see what they can do here in Game 4, but the Phillies seem like they are back on track. They'll hand the ball in this game to Christopher Sanchez. He's 5 and 2 this season, a 3.05 ERA. His last start, very good against Toronto, and honestly, he's been great over at least his last 4 starts. Not giving up more than 2 earned runs over any of those starts. The Phillies are 3 and 1 over that span, and yeah, he's just looking really, really good. Now the Phillies bullpen, on the other hand, not my favorite bullpen. A 4.56 bullpen ERA. It's been a problem all year long. Really, no lead is safe for the Phillies, but They've been a little bit better in this series specifically, so I think maybe we can be slightly less concerned. The offense for the Phillies has obviously been excellent over the course of the year. Castellanos coming back, that's a big deal. Obviously from that, like little one-game absence. They're 7th in runs scored. They're 2nd in team batting average. They're 5th in on-base percentage. This is one of the best offenses in the majors. So looking at their opponent in this game, the Marlins, not really one of the best teams in the majors. They're 29 and 43 on the year, better than I thought they'd be. They'll hand the ball in this one to Edward Cabrera. He's 2-2 this season, a 4.10 ERA. His last outing was at the Nationals, 3 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs allowed. Not as good as he'd been recently, which he'd been putting up some pretty solid numbers, albeit not against the toughest offensive teams. I will say the Marlins are 4-1 over his last 5 starts, so that is all worth taking into consideration here. We'll see what he does against the Phillies, an elite level offense. I'm not expecting miracles from him, though. I'm not expecting amazing stuff from that Miami bullpen, a 4.53 bullpen ERA, right there next to the Phillies bullpen, and the offense, not nearly as good. I mean, they've scored 2, 8, 2, 3, 4, and 11 over their last few games, but over the course of the year, they're 23rd in runs scored, 19th in slugging percentage. They're 8th in batting average, so they can put up some runs, don't get me wrong, but against Christopher Sanchez, are they going to score runs? Seems like a big ask to me. So looking at the numbers here, the Phillies are minus 180. The Marlins are plus 150. We've got a total of 7.5 here. The Phillies are 19 and 17 on the road, 21, 14, and 1 to the under on the road. The Marlins, 15 and 21 at home, a 500 over-under team at home. I'm going to be looking at the Phillies at minus 180 pretty seriously as a potential lock of the day. Not the worst price, and while Cabrera's been decent recently, I don't know if we're going to see him be decent here against the Phillies. That seems like a big ask. You could also talk me into over 7.5 here. These bullpens suck, so we could see some late scoring in this game, but I think we're going to see most of that come from the Phillies. Cruising along here, guys, we're looking at the New York Mets going on the road to take on the Atlanta Braves. The Mets come into this one searching for something positive. They just got dominated by Chris Sale. That's their 5th straight loss. They'll hand the ball in this game to Clay Holmes. He's 7-3 on the year, a 2.87 ERA. He has been pretty good. I mean, his last start only went 5 innings, but gave up a single run there against Tampa Bay in a game we eventually see the Mets lose 7-5. I don't know, guys. I love what I'm seeing from Clay Holmes. We'll see what he can do here against the Braves. I'm expecting pretty good stuff. It's not like Atlanta is a crazy offense, but the Mets have just been searching recently. The bullpen's been good, a 3.07 bullpen ERA. I'm not about to complain about that. The offense, though, 0, 4, 0, 4, and 5 runs over their last few games. Not looking awesome. They're currently down to 11th in the majors in runs scored. They're 17th in batting average, 5th in slugging, and 3rd in on-base percentage. So there's a lot of things to feel good about the Mets offense over the course of the season. But right now, not swinging the hottest bats. So we'll see what they can get done here on the road against the Braves, who have suddenly won 5 out of 6. They're up to 33 and 39 on the year. So far from the season they imagined. They'll hand the ball in this game to Spencer Strider, who's 1-5 on the year, a 4.35 ERA. His last start, though, one of his best of the year, it was against the Rockies. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed, struck out 13, and walked 1 against Colorado in a 4-1 win. That's all great. We'll see what he can do here against the Mets. Kind of a different situation than facing the Colorado Rockies. We'll see. Strider has some pretty good stuff. Obviously, you don't put up those kind of numbers for nothing. The bullpen for the Braves, a 3.85 ERA. That's not great. It hasn't been a disaster recently, but it's not amazing. The offense, 5, 1, 4, and 12 runs over their last several. This has not been a great offense. They're 22nd in runs scored. They're 20th in slugging percentage. They've got some guys that can swing the bat, don't get me wrong, but not a lot of them, and they're not swinging the hottest bats. So we'll see what they can do in this one. The odds makers have the Mets as underdogs here. The Mets are plus 110. The Braves are minus 130. We've got a total of 8.5. The Mets are a 500 road team. They're 21, 14, and 1 to the under on the road. Atlanta, 20 and 15 at home, 20, 12, and 3 to the under at home. Just based on those trends, we're going to lean a little bit towards under 8.5. I don't think that's crazy with these two guys on the mound. I also don't think it's amazing. I do like the Mets here at plus 110, a decent amount also. I think this could be our dog of the day. The Mets got to snap out of this funk at some point. Getting them at plus money here against the Braves, who have not been good this year, seems like a very reasonable spot to me, especially with Clay Holmes on the mound. Next up, we're looking at the Baltimore Orioles going on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. The Orioles took the 12-8 loss there in Game 3 of this series, so the Rays pulling off the MLB's largest rally of the season is pretty crazy stuff, but that happening against the Orioles super makes sense. The Orioles will hand the ball in this one to Uncle Charlie, who's 3-7 on the season, a 6.05 ERA. His last start, he was great, weirdly dominant against the Angels. 5 innings, 5 hits, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, no runs allowed in a 2-0 win. I don't know what to say, really. The Orioles are 4-0 over his last 4 starts, and most of those starts have been very, very good. Now, those are starts against the Angels, Athletics, White Sox, and Cardinals. So we'll see. But even his start before that against the Nationals was really good. Going up against Tampa Bay here, I don't know if he's faced. No, he has not faced Tampa Bay yet this season. So we'll see what that looks like. But Uncle Charlie finding the fountain of youth, it appears. Now the Orioles bullpen is another story. A 4.62 bullpen ERA, a number that's going to be going up. That is a concern. That's not great. That is pretty bad. Now the offense has looked maybe a little bit better recently. Sometimes, 8, 5, 1, 11, and 6 runs over their last few games, but 21st in batting average, 23rd in on base percentage, and 24th in runs scored is a far cry from what was one of the most dominant offenses in the majors a season ago. So we'll see what they do here against the Rays. They've won 5 out of their last 6. They'll hand the ball in this game to Drew Rasmussen, who's been very good this year, a 6-4 record, a 2.55 ERA. His last start against the Mets wasn't his best stuff, 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs. To be honest, it's one of his worst starts in recent memory, but we see the Rays still get the win for him, and they're 5-0 over his last 5 starts. Not something to turn your nose up at. Has Rasmussen faced Baltimore yet this season? No, he has not. So we'll see what we get. He's a Redbeard brother out there. I'm expecting him to put up a pretty good performance. In terms of the bullpen for Tampa Bay, it's been excellent this year. Second in the majors right now, a 3.02 bullpen ERA. Definitely a bullpen you can trust, and the offense has been on fire. Obviously, that huge rally, 12, 1, 7, 9, and 8 runs over their last few games. They're up to 12th in batting average, top 10 in runs scored now. This team is swinging some hot bats, and they have been for a while. So looking at the numbers here, the Orioles are plus 130. The Rays are minus 155. Got a total of 8.5. Baltimore 15-22 on the road, 24-12-1 to the under on the road. Tampa Bay 24-21 at home, 27-15-3 to the under at home. Those are big under trends, guys. And while I'm not interested in backing that in a meaningful way here, I think you should at least notice it. In terms of the side, I'm going to take Rasmussen and the Tampa Bay Rays at minus 155. That Orioles bullpen is way too bad. Uncle Charlie ain't going out there and throwing complete games, so give me the Rays here at minus 155 with a decent chance to make the pinned comment. Rounding into the home stretch, guys, we're looking at the Houston Astros going on the road to take on the Sacramento Athletics. The Astros and Athletics are actually playing right now with Houston up 9-2, just going into the 7th inning now. The Astros have been playing great. They're atop the AL West, so that has to feel pretty good, but in a 5-game lead there over Seattle, so they're doing what they set out to do this season. They'll hand the ball in this game to Colton Gordon, who's 2-1 on the year, a 4.70 ERA. His last 2 starts have been very good. Good start against the Twins, good start against the Guardians, and the Astros are 4-1 over his last 5 starts. So a lot of positives here. We'll see what he does against the Athletics. Obviously, can be a weird team to face, but I think the Astros are very happy with what they've seen so far this season from Colton Gordon. The bullpen for Houston's been excellent as well. They're top 5 in the majors, a 3.18 bullpen ERA, so nobody's about to throw a fit about that. And the offense has been coming alive. They scored 13 runs in Game 2 of this series, at least 9 so far in Game 3. We'll see what they do in Game 4, but they're up to 4th in the majors in batting average, batting .255 as a team. They're 11th in slugging. That's a number that's been on the way up. 13th in on-base percentage. This team can hit it a little bit, and that's not something that was looking great at the beginning of the year, so I'm sure they're happy that has turned around. The Athletics come into this game obviously floundering a bit, but they did have that 4-game winning streak, so 30-45 in the year is better than many would have expected for a borderline homeless team at the moment. They'll hand the ball to Jacob Lopez in this game. This 27-year-old is 1-4 on the season, a 4.80 ERA. His last 2 starts, though, he has dominated back-to-back outings, dominating the Baltimore Orioles, dominating the Royals. Both those games were wins for the Athletics. So, yeah, Lopez throwing the ball really well right now. Something for the Astros to look out for. Now, the bullpen for the Athletics is terrible. Worse than the majors, a 5.93 bullpen ERA. That's not good. The offense, though, has been solid this year. They're, 13th in runs scored, 10th in batting average, 8th in slugging. They've got some real bats out there. Jacob Wilson, Brent Rooker. This team can swing the bat. So, looking at the numbers here, the Astros are minus 130. The Athletics are plus 110. We've got a total of 10.5. Houston, 15-18 on the road, 18-13-2 to the under on the road. The Athletics, 13-24 at home, 23-14 to the over at home. I'm not taking the under in this game, under 10.5. It's a pretty big number, though, so maybe worth a slight look the way these 2 young starters have been, or maybe under in the first 5 could be a thing to dodge that Athletics bullpen. In terms of a side, I'm going to lean just slightly towards Houston at minus 130, but no major lean here. I think the Athletics are definitely capable of winning this game. Next on the docket, we've got our last MLB game before we hop over and look at our NBA Finals game. We've got the San Diego Padres going on the road to take on the LA Dodgers. These 2 teams are playing right now with the Dodgers up 3-1 in the end of the 7th inning, so they're looking to take a stranglehold on this series, up 3-0. The Padres will hand the ball here in Game 4 of this series to Ryan Bergert. He comes into this game sporting a 2.33 ERA. His last 3 outings have been starts, and they've been pretty reasonable. His last time out, 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs against the the Diamondbacks. Not great there in an 8-7 loss, but he dominated the Brewers, had a pretty good start at San Francisco, so we'll see what he does in this one. Obviously, transitioning from the bullpen shouldn't be that big of a deal for this young 25-year-old, but we'll see. You can expect a little bit of inconsistency there. The Padres' bullpen's been good all year long. They're currently 6th in the majors with a 3.27 bullpen ERA. The problem with the Padres, kind of down the stretch here, has been the offense. They're currently sitting at 15th in batting average, 19th in runs scored, 23rd in slugging percentage. Not a lot of crazy power numbers coming out of the Padres right now, and that's not exactly how they had drawn this thing up. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Dodgers. They come into this game on a 4, looking to maybe be a 5-game winning streak if the bullpen can hold up. They'll hand the ball here to Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who's 6-5 on the year, a 2.64 ERA. His last outing, not a good one, actually a terrible one, which is a bit out of character for him. 4 2/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 5 earned runs there allowed against the Giants, and a 6-2 loss. So he's definitely in a bounce back spot. We'll see what he looks like here against the Padres, a team that he has somehow not faced yet this season. Yeah, he hasn't faced the Padres yet this year. We'll see what Yamamoto looks like. I'm expecting this kid to bounce back in this, a pretty big spot. Now, I do worry about the Dodgers bullpen. That's for sure true. A 4.09 bullpen ERA is a problem they probably want to address before the playoffs roll around. The offense, though, is pretty nuts. They scored 8, 6, 5, and 11 runs over their last few games. They're currently first in runs scored. They are also first in batting average, batting 265 as a team. They're first in on-base percentage, getting on base at a 341 clip, and they're first in slugging percentage with a 460 slugging percentage. This team is nuts at the plate, guys. Absolutely crazy. So look at the numbers. I'm not shocked to see them be big favorites. The Padres are plus 205. The Dodgers are minus 250. We got totals out there of 9 or 8.5. The Padres are 18-21 on the road, 20-18-1 to the under on the road. The Dodgers 27-12 at home, 26-12-1 to the over at home. So they're kind of two schools of thought here. Maybe Yamamoto has a bounce back and the Dodgers win this game easily, and the bullpen doesn't matter because they put up a bunch of runs. However, I think there's a chance that Ryan Bergert goes out and has a very good outing here, and the Padres being bigger than 2-1 dogs when they're looking to avoid the series sweep, and they're going up against a Dodgers team that is a pretty big rivalry. I'm going to lean a bit towards the Padres at plus 205. It's not going in the pin com, and it's too crazy of an underdog for me, but I do think there's a chance that they avoid the sweep in this one. Now, guys, hopping over to look at Game 6 of the NBA Finals, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder going on the road to take on the Indiana Pacers. The Thunder came away with a pretty convincing 120-109 win against the Pacers there in Game 5. The big news in that game was the injury to Halliburton. Obviously, he hadn't really looked right in Game 4, if I'm being honest. Then in Game 5, definitely hurt his calf. He has been diagnosed with a strained calf. He had an MRI. Sounds like he's theoretically going to try to play. That is bonkers crazy pants to me. That is how you tear an Achilles. We've seen it over and over again, most notably with Kevin Durant when he tried to come back in that Toronto series for the Warriors and tore his Achilles. So I think it'd be kind of crazy for him to come back. I think it's especially crazy because he was clearly super ineffective there in Game 5. He was 0 of 6 from the field in 34 minutes, scored only 4 points. Those were all free throws. They would have been better off bringing back TJ McConnell, who cashed our prop for us pretty comfortably, scoring 18 points off the bench. Could have been more, should have played more minutes, if I'm being honest. Overall, the Pacers are going to really need guys like Siakam, who had 28 points there in Game 5 to step up in a huge way, and they're going to need some other score to go nuts. I don't know if that means, some sort of transcendent shooting day from Aaron Nesmith, who was 3 of 4, or 4 of 5 from 3 in Game 5. They're going to need, McConnell to have another good game off the bench. Matherin's got to be better off the bench. Obi Toppin going to need to continue to produce, and they're going to have to play insane defense. So we'll see what the Pacers are able to do. They'll be at home, so maybe that helps a little bit, but I think they're either going to be without Halliburton or basically without Halliburton because he's going to be too injured to be effective. The Thunder come into this game obviously pretty stoked about Jalen Williams going off for a 40-piece. 40 for him, 31 for SGA. A two-headed monster there for the Thunder. Pretty nuts. Also, when you're bringing Aaron Wiggins and Carson Wallace off the bench and they're shooting a combined 7 of 11 from 3, this team's not going to lose if that happens. That was nuts. Obviously, great defense from guys like Dort and Caruso. Just a very good day out there from pretty much everyone. Chet, not his best stuff, but he's a little banged up, for sure, a little banged up. So we'll see what happens here. No major injury concerns there for the Thunder. Looking at the numbers for this game, the Pacers are getting 6.5 points at home. We've got a total of 221.5. The Thunder are 26-21-2 against the spread on the road. They are 55-47-2 to the over. The Pacers 23-25-3 against the spread at home this year. 54-47-2 to the over themselves. If you wanted to take over 221 in this game, sure, I don't have a problem with that. It's going to be a really high-paced game there in Indiana. With Halliburton being out, maybe that makes it a little bit weird, but I think over is reasonable. In terms of a side, this feels weird to me, and maybe I'm wildly off here, but I kind of like the Pacers getting 6.5 points, even with Halliburton out. If you wait, this number might go up, but I think the league is going to want this to be a game 7. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. I haven't looked at the referee assignments yet. If you look that up in Scott Foster's refereeing, if the extender's in there, definitely take the Pacers getting 6.5 points. But that's not my biggest lean, guys. I've got a few player props that I think are very good in this game. I like Halliburton under 13.5 points. Dude has a calf strain, for sure. The idea is going to come out and score 14 points against the Thunder defense. That's wild to me. If he plays, under is great on him. Neesmith, over 11.5 points, I think also has some good value. He has to make the extra shots here. They'll be at least semi-available for him. I think he's shot them into at least one win in the postseason. There's a chance that he shoots them into a win here. That would be crazy, but not impossible. But all we need is for him to score 12 points. We don't need him to win the game or anything like that. So I think that's a very reasonable spot. I also like Siakam here. Over 1.5 made threes. He was 3 of 6 from 3 in Game 5. 2 of 6 from 3 in Game 4. Now at home with Halliburton banged up, there's even more scoring load on him. They're going to need him to take and hopefully make those kind of shots. That's all the games we have for today, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you're getting over to stumpthespread.com by clicking the little link down in the description. Get on that free email list. It's great value, straight to your inbox every single day. We'll be back tomorrow, guys. Same time, same place, right here with more sports betting action.